Hello and welcome to all the men and women of the West. I'm Joe. Here with me is my co-hosts Dan and Jet.
Hello and greetings.
Yes, today we have the extra co-anchor of our puppy, who is the leading expert on Lord of the Rings, as far as we know. Or at least on cuteness. So here we go. This is going to be our first time viewing this trailer. And once again, we might have to cut a large segment of it out because copyright, and we really don't want to mess with Amazon. Well, basically, Bezos. Well, we watched it, and what can we say? This was the trailer's first bit, and I'm clicking through right now. The music's not very good at the opening. And when they're in the snowy fields, or in the mountains, I should say, we got a shot of where Rivendell will one day be, I think. And we got talk of the Harfoots having each other and whatnot, which, okay, that's fine. But the trailer gets into a conversation between Elrond and Galadriel, where Elrond is telling Galadriel, you have fought long and hard. Put up your sword. You need to slow down, smell the flowers, and remember that you have a husband and daughter. So who knows if that's just me complaining, because I was kind of looking forward to seeing Celebrian and Celeborn in here. Trailer has Galadriel then raise her nose at Elrond. I don't know how else to describe it. She raises her nose at him and tells him he's not seen anything. He's a young whippersnapper who hasn't seen anything like she has. And if he doesn't get off her lawn in 5 minutes, she's going to throw her walker at him. I'm joking. I couldn't resist that joke. But in all seriousness, the exchange, I don't know, it's not my cup of tea, but at least it's better than having someone declare the past is dead. Yes and no. Yes, it has already passed, but history is what Middle-earth is all about. History is, as you once described it, the greatest epic story or epic novel ever written, ever told. Man's history spans over probably 5,000 to 6,000 years. To an extent, if you consider Ketelhiuk, we can go back 7,000 years. And it is magnificent, replete with bad deeds and great ones. Full of mystery and beauty and magic in its own right. And Middle-earth has even more of that than actual history to an extent. It has characters. Well, the First Age is just beautiful, magnificent. And to have the characters kind of scorn it, along with the Second Age, when there's so much good and bad that happens in both. And the overall message almost of this entire mythos was hope. Characters also looking to the great majestic deeds of their forebears and going, we have to measure up. The history lives on through us. We need to measure up to the giants who came before us. We cannot let the magnificent deeds of the likes of Fingolfin, of Ecthelion, Glorfindel, of Eorendil, of Maglor, of Finarfin, of all the other great figures. You get my point. Oh, and of Hurin and Turin and Tuor, especially Tuor. All their heroism and the tragedies all these characters suffered. And then, all the kinslayings from Aquilonde to the Feanorian massacres, to the dwarves' betrayals of Thingol, to all these tragedies, almost all at the hands, technically, of Morgoth. and to declare it just dead. No. That's like the overall message there feels like it's just saying, like it's not worth it. It's not worthy. And no, I dare say the Númenóreans were not worthy of the great weight of history that came down to them. But it's just, as I've said in a previous Rings of Power video, I'm a historian and a mythology lover. To me, all the great epic poems, mythology, history, I love these things more than anything else in my life, except my dog. And it's just, I'm not trying to be angry here. I'm just saying this distresses me. And I don't like having a single character say the past is dead. But I know he ends up saying, and we along with it if we don't band together, which the second half fits with Tolkien, I'll not lie. It does. But the first half is just so jarring to me, I can't quite get around to it. What are your thoughts? Sorry for my long rant. It's just that one sentence just kind of killed the trailer for me.
The opening of the trailer, I was thinking, okay, good, not bad. The music was like, oh.
Yeah, the music was not great until the second half. Then when they got there, the music started to pick up in a decent way.
And it got to the Harfoots. I have a hard time liking their appearance. Because I think they could be a little cleaner.
Yeah, rather like the Hobbits. Like, I don't really care for Peter Jackson, neither did you, but the Hobbits were pretty spot on in appearance.
Yeah.
Now, the opening shot of Tyrion and of Aemon is good. The landscape shots are all beautiful, but the trouble is
when they get to Galadriel, should have extended the second part of the conversation where Elrond tells her, "Hey, I've seen some a lot more than you realize." Again,
because he fought in the War of Wrath and the War of Elves and Sauron and the Elves. So yeah, and he's also herald to the High King. He's the right-hand man, the deputy of the monarch. So, and at this time he's not yet, I think, son-in-law to Galadriel. So in a way, they have almost equal rank, but at the same time, she would probably speak to him a little more respectfully because, let's bear in mind, is the representative of Gil-galad, the High King of the Noldor and of all elves. And that is her liege lord. Gil-galad is the one she owes her fealty to. So she kind of has to be respectful and formal, but the tone is...
If she's to speak emotionally, even then, as an elf, she would be a lot more formal about it.
So the wording of the speech you're not entirely keen on. It doesn't feel Tolkienian to you, like Old English.
Exactly.
Oh, plus, so that's your biggest objection. That's a good one.
The cringe.
It's... Yeah. Well...
After you get all the visuals, which are pretty nice, and then you get to that line you mentioned, the past is dead. Traditionally, in a lot of shows, cartoons, and movies, and so on, people who say that, often the past catches up to them, and they forget about the past. That's what causes their downfall. That's their weakness.
And here's the thing that's funny for me, is that I know I'm pretty whiny about it. It's just, I really like history. I don't know. I wanted it to feel like Tolkien, and that does not feel like Tolkien. Having a character say that one line.
What annoyed me above all else is that they're repeating the lines from the previous trailer. It's like, bring us something new.
Okay, well, this did feel like it was slightly more complete, but we know more of the plot from their plot releases where they tell us, you know, this is going to be about this. There's a guy called Adar, which, you know, there's a character called Theo with a black sword, which that plot point looks interesting. Now, like, guys, we're not trying to just be naysayers here. We're actually going to comment. The poster of the guy with the black sword does look pretty cool. That looks interesting. I'm still determined that it has to be the sister sword to Gurthang, or Anglashel, as it was known in earlier periods. It has to be the sister sword. I don't think it's the sword of Turin, but rather the sword of Eol. But this trailer showed us everything we've already seen, a few other details. We get a scene of the older dwarf king. I don't think that's Durin, I think the third, because I think Durin the fourth is one of the main characters of this show, and you can't have Durin the third and fourth together at the same time, because Durin the fourth is the reincarnation of Durin the third. So, yeah, that's a bit of a problem. Elrond has seen quite a bit, and I just can't imagine Galadriel or Elrond comparing pain. I can't see her not being compassionate to Elrond. On the other hand, I can't see Elrond being anything other than compassionate towards Galadriel. What I see them doing is probably more sympathizing with each other and commiserating. This felt like a confrontation. I'm not sure that's... I don't get why it has to be a confrontation between the two characters.
I agree.
Although, if they had to have conflict between a male and female character, and they're going to take Galadriel down this route, why not have her have conflict with Celeborn? And the dog's shifting around again. Because, you know, she mothered Celebrian. They could have a reconciliation. Kind of like what happened with Jason at the end of Hercules' Legendary Journeys with his daughter that he didn't know he had. And where there's a reconciliation between the two. They could do it that way in a healthy way, but you can have initial conflict over the course of the series. And, but, like, I don't really want this predictable plot line for Galadriel or Elrond. I don't understand why we have to have it. Now, this trailer, though, does not answer the question of the secret identity of Meteor Man. I'm going to say Clark Kent. It's got to be Clark Kent. Who else can it be? I'm being sardonic because just the idea of a Meteor Man, I don't know about. Let's actually...
I beg to differ. I think it's Goku.
That would probably make more sense, actually. But, anyways, let's rate this. The visuals are nice. No one can argue with that. The music starting around the second half is pretty good. Like, the costumes are pretty good. But the trouble is, the dialogue we see between Elrond and Galadriel's not great. The one guy saying the cringe line I despise so much. Yeah, I'm gonna say visuals and music almost rescue this. If you were to mute it and watch it, it could be pretty fun. So, I gotta say it's around a 1 star out of 4. This is not... Like, and I think I'm being generous here.
3/4 star.
3/4?
Yeah.
Doesn't measure up to a 1?
No. It's those 2 lines that I'd say send it back to the script writers.
Edit
it.
Okay. Well, yeah, you're right. I might lower mine to 1/2 star. The reason I'm lowering mine is for that one line. Just the past is dead. And that...
Show us something new with the script.
Well, anyways, if you enjoyed this video, it could be that you think we got it wrong. That's okay. But what's important is what you guys think and want from the show. So don't forget to smash those buttons. And also check out our other videos. We've got a great history podcast style video on Turin Turambar. We've got a video on the House of Finwë. And we've got plenty of other Lord of the Rings content and Silmarillion content. But most of all, don't forget to take care of yourselves and have a great day.